Hello and welcome to a new episode on Sadhana World Foundation. As you know, we care about crafting young lives. We present them stories drawn from the lessons in history and our folk tales, which are anchored on moral values. We think that these lessons contain a tremendous amount of moral teachings which our young children and adults can inculcate in their lives and become stronger and better human beings. We hear about sages, saints, who leave this world of hustle and bustle and they retire into the quietness, the calmness of the mountains or some areas where they can be far from the trials and tribulations of this world. We are fancied by this. However, many of us wonder whether this is the way to lead life after you reach certain age on your journey of life. There is a concept called renunciation where you are expected to practice or build the capability within you to detach yourself from the fruits of the actions that you take every day. As human beings, we cannot stay away from actions. The saints, the sages who move away from the hustle and bustle of this world, they go away from the actions that we take every day. When we go on the roads, there is traffic, there is all kind of stress that operates on us. When we are in the school, the college, at home, in our work environment, there is so much of expectation of others and we have to deal with those expectations. When we deal with these expectations, there are pressures and many a time we are not able to meet those expectations. Hence, there is a lot of pressure that all of us subject ourselves to. We deal with those pressures in our own way. Here is a folk tale that teaches us a great deal about dealing with all this and shows us a path that we can adapt to lead our life from a young age itself. Once upon a time, there was a gentleman who renunciated, who left his family, who decided that he would live the life of a hermit, the life of a sage. So he was wandering from village to village and crossing miles of distance. He reached a village where he suddenly started liking the people who he was interacting with. Typically, his routine is to reach a village, beg for alms, interact with people, and spend some time with the villagers by a discourse, answer their questions, typically in the evening hours. The villagers started liking what this gentleman was saying, and this gentleman used to like how the villagers used to treat him. So typically he would sleep over the night in the school or in the temple of that village. He stayed there for a few days and the villagers said that why don't you live with us in this village, we will build a small hut for you. You can do whatever you want to. You are meditating, you are praying, you are leading a very different life from ours. However, we like what you say, how you lead your life. You are our guru, we look up to you. And this gentleman used to like the love, the affection, the respect that the people of that village used to offer him. So he accepted their proposal. He stayed there in that hut. He was leading a very simple life of an ascetic. He will go in the morning to some villages nearby. He would interact with the villagers. His schedule was the same. He used to live a very simple life. He had just 2 pairs of clothes. One day he will wear one and the other day he will wear the other. He will wash this one, he will wear the other. He lived a very simple life of a saint. Over a period of time, some rats entered into his cottage and they spoiled the other cloths that he had, and so he started using the torn cloths. Both his clothes were torn, and the villagers noticed it. They said that, "Saint, we will give you more." But he said, "I am leading a very simple life. It's okay for me to wear torn clothes." But the villagers said, "No, no, we insist that you take better clothes. But the problem has been due to the rats. We will also try to solve this problem with the rats." The villagers offered various solutions. He didn't want the rats to be killed because he felt that the rats have their own lives and they need to live their own life. So he said, "Let it be. I am okay with it." But one person had a great idea. He said that, "Why don't you keep this cat with you? And the cat can drive the rats away." So the saint said that, "Let it be." So the cat started living with the saint in that hut. However, the cat needed to be fed. So the sage had to find some way of getting milk. So he had to go to somebody's house and beg for milk, and the cat used to live a happy life along with the saint. The rats didn't create any trouble, but over a period of time, the demand of the cat had to be met each day. So it was a stress. It was something to be done in everyday life. It is a to-do list in the saint's life every day to take care of the cat. So the villagers asked the saint, and saint talked to them about this particular problem. So the villagers thought for a while, and they said that, "We will all contribute and get you a cow." So the saint wasn't very happy about it, but he accepted this request of the villagers. The villagers got a cow to the saint's cottage. The cow was living in a cow shed which was just outside the cottage. Anyway, the cottage was in the outskirts of the village. So the cow started living there. However, now the cat's problem was solved, that the cow's milk was available for the cat. But the problem remained about the cow's food. So now, cow being a bigger animal, it needs a lot of food. So the sage had to find grass and other food for the cow, and somebody to take care of the cow. So the saint was wondering whether all this which is happening in his life is the right thing to do. So the villagers said that, "We will get you someone who will start taking care of the cow." So the saint again reluctantly agreed. There was a lady in that village who had the misfortune of losing her husband, and she had become a widow. Those days, in the social system that people lived, the widows had a tough time to live their life. So the villagers thought that the widow can do some service to the cow and to the saint, and the widow could come in the morning, maybe leave in the evening, or stay overnight some days to take care of the cow. Over a period of time, the widow started liking the saint, and the saint also started losing his determination, his focus on the spiritual path. He started liking the widow. They started living together as husband and wife. They had children. So over a period of time, all the changes were happening to the life of an ascetic, the life of a so-called saint. And that's this whole story. Someone who wanted to move away from his life of hustle and bustle, of family, of wife, of children, of other responsibilities, now is back to where he had moved away from. He started a new journey of his life from that situation. Now he is back into that situation. So whatever he wanted to do, he wanted to renunciate. He wanted to move away from the hustle and bustle of the life. He didn't want to get involved. He didn't want to get attached with this world and the results. The people who move away from this world and lead a life of a hermit or a sage or a saint, whatever you call them in the mountains, they are the people who have gone away with a desire to move away from action. This gentleman wanted to stay in the world of action. He wanted to live amongst the villages. He wanted to interact with villages. He wanted to spread the knowledge that he was getting, the spiritual paths that he was pursuing. He wanted to distribute that knowledge. However, he started slowly losing focus on the path of renunciation. He started getting attached to the love and the affection that he was getting from the villages. He started getting attached to the results that he was getting of keeping the cat. Then he started getting attached to the results of having a cow, then having a lady to take care of his needs, and so on and so forth. So, ladies and gentlemen, my dear young children, this is very obvious that the moral value of this teaching is what Lord Sri Krishna tells us in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. One of those 26 noble qualities is about Tyaga. Tyaga means renunciation. You detach yourself from the fruits of the actions that you take. It's easier said than done. This folktale teaches us how this sage could not detach himself and slowly started losing track. If we can practice this detachment, then we would definitely become stronger and better human beings. Thank you in advance for spreading this word of wisdom. Look forward to our future conversations. Thank you very much.